All right, so look, um, the key to health, right? The key towards health is making sure that you have three pillars, just like a TP, right? And the third TP, right? We got two products right here. The third TP is gonna be you, right? You're gonna have to make sure that you have a sufficient amount of rest, or none of the healthy shit that you do is gonna be worth it, right? And with these two products right here, you're gonna have the best of both worlds, right? So the best of both worlds meaning that with the colon cleanse, you're gonna be using this to eliminate the root cause of disease, meaning that it's gonna help you to have that 3 to 6 bowel movement a day, right? And having a bowel movement 3 to 6 times a day is necessary to make sure that you're eliminating the waste from the vitality that you're putting into your body. Now, this is a special formula for vitality, and it has different herbs in it that's going to support the sea moss and give you better libido, good for your heart, your blood, and everything like that. But this is going to be the one of the pillars, one of the three pillars, and this is vitality, right? And we're going to talk about when you want to be taking them and stuff, like when is the ideal time to be taking it, so that your body can be working and function and align with how everything's supposed to be operating. Now, the time that you want to take the colon cleanser is during when your body is rejuvenating, so that you can detox in the morning. So there's three parts of healing, and then there's three parts that you exist in, right? That's detoxification, vitalization, and rejuvenation, right? So during the rejuvenation time, you want to make sure that you're sleeping and also preparing yourself for the detox in the morning. So this is going to be the preparation to make sure that you have a good amount of bowel movement in the morning, because when you wake up in the morning, that's when the majority of your bowel movements is going to happen. So if you wake up in the morning and pass all the way up into afternoon and don't have a bowel movement, that's a huge issue, and most likely that you have constipation. Now, when we use the bathroom, a lot of us think that a natural way to use the bathroom is like straining and all of that, right? Not only are you busting blood vessels, but you're not eliminating all the waste, and that's why your body has to strain and try to push any more out, right? But it's not getting that full elimination because it's too hard to pass through the pipes, right? So your colon, I believe it's 20 feet long. I can't remember exact the numbers, but it's long as hell, and basically you have to send the waste through it, right? So imagine you have to send something through, something that twists and turns and everything like that. It's going to be harder if the waste is hard, because it's going to have to move through all that's going to be moving slower. It's like traffic. But if it's softer, right, it's going to be able to push through faster, right? And what's going to happen, and what's going to allow that too, is making sure that you eat enough fruits and vegetables, because those have the proper enzymes in your body to digest not only the fruits that you're eating, but also the other food that you're eating that might not have enough water in them. So that's why eating fruits and vegetables are so important, because they have a high concentration of water and enzymes and everything like that, and they help to operate they help to operate the whole functionality of your body. And how you know this is to be true is because when you cut open an apple, within a few hours it starts to get darker and rotten and everything like that. That's happening in your stomach at even a faster rate, because it's hotter, it's in a closed environment. You know what I'm saying? There's moisture, there's humidity, there's acids to break it down, but it also helps to release and break down the other food, and then release the enzymes and the minerals and like that in other food, because your body is able to absorb it, because it's helping to push out the waste out of your body that which you had before, right? So once you have too much waste in your body, which the average person has anywhere from 5 to 50 pounds of toxins in their body, what's going to happen is that you are not going to see an efficient amount of absorption of the minerals into your body. The reason being is because your body has to do one thing at a time, right? So when we are detoxing, that's the efficient time to detox, right? from about 5 o'clock in the morning till about 11. That's when we're doing the most detoxing. So it's not going to be a good time to do a majority of vitalization. Vitalization means putting in stuff into your putting in nutrients into your body. After 11 is when you want to is when the ideal time to put in nutrients into your body. From 11 until about 8. Right after 8 is when you want to be going into your rejuvenation time. But again, it's like a peak. In the middle of that time is the ideal time to be consuming your heavier meals. And as you're going down, you want to be consuming lighter things, because your body has to go into the rejuvenation phase. And if your body has to still digest the food right before you go to sleep, that's going to cause some trouble. And that's a lot of times why people can't sleep. So when you do take this cleanse, it's going to help with things like sleeping. It's going to help with the libido. It's going to help with the heart. It's going to help with all of that, because the colon is really where everything is going to be. It's like the motherboard of your body, right? And without that motherboard being in the proper alignment and in the proper function, what's going to happen is that you're going to see yourself getting sicker quicker, right? Because it's your immune system that is fighting off all the diseases and maintaining your health. So if you're not having them bowel movements, then you are operating at a loss, right? You're not operating at your peak ability. So that's what happens, is when you're not at your peak abilities, things like that start to get in the way. So that's the detoxification, right? Now, whether it's, I don't care what disease you have, even think about any health issue being a disease. Whether you're overweight, whether you don't have a strong libido, whether your stomach is sticking out farther than your wee-wee do, all of those type of things are going to be necessary to detox, right? I don't care what your problem is, what your issue is, you have to detox, right? Now, everybody is becoming more familiar with the sea moss, right? And what's really good about the sea moss is that it has 92 minerals, 90% of the minerals that our body needs. That's because the way it grows off of coral reef. Rocks have every mineral that the earth is made out of. So when it's growing out of these rocks and on them rocks, is absorbing the minerals. Because we cannot eat rocks like that and absorb the minerals, because they're inorganic minerals. They have to become organic, become processed through a plant, right? Or some other living organism for us to break down and absorb for ourselves. So this is basically the best food that you can get, right? And that's why you don't really need that much. And when you do eat this, it fills you up a lot. Like a small bit is gonna fill you up a lot with a smoothie. Like if you have a smoothie versus a sea moss smoothie, you're gonna tell the difference, because it's gonna fill you up a lot more. And the reason why you feel full is because when you feel full, that means you have completed how much nutrients that you need, or calories, or both. Now, this is going to make sure that you have a high concentrate of minerals. So if you are deficient in some, this is going to help. And not only that, with the sea moss is going to help to do that, but then there's supporting herbs that help to make the sea moss stronger, right? So what helps to make the sea moss stronger is that when you have supporting herbs that help to build up the blood, the heart, the brain, everything is going to be working in synergy. So when you have something like low libido, this means that you're not going to be absorbing minerals as much as you should. So what happens is that you're going to be lacking. So once you add minerals to your body, like with the sea moss, and with the cleanse together, you're going to be absorbing more of those minerals, right? So there's a lot of people who order the sea moss because it's hype and it's cool and everything like that, but you eat like shit. You ain't gonna get shit from it because you eat shit. So the parasites that are in your body is gonna be eating all those minerals. So it don't matter, right, what you're doing, right? So the most important thing to make sure that you're doing is cleansing, right? And eating a proper diet. And then you have the sea moss, because you can't eat sea moss with junk food. It don't go together. So the sea moss you have to make sure that the sea moss is combined with proper food. That's how you get a better absorption. That's why you want to do smoothies, porridge, tea, right? Something that's going to be positive and something that's going to help to bring it into your body at a faster rate and provide those minerals that you need. You're not going to eat this with no bullshit, right? You're not going to eat this with no bullshit. Now, that's going to build, what this does too, it also builds the habit of eating more healthier, because you say, okay, look, I got to do the sea moss every day, right? Because after you start doing it, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to have more energy, and the benefits that you receive from it, you're not going to go without. You're not going to want to go without. So you're going to want to do that sea moss every day. But you don't want to be just doing it with just eating it out the jar. Now that's better than nothing, right? But you want to consume it with fruits, with a tea, with porridge, something that's going to benefit you as well, so that you're eating healthy and getting the minerals and then combining them together. So the 10% of minerals that you might have not got in the sea moss, you're getting in that smoothie, you're getting in that porridge, you're getting in that tea. You understand? So that's why you want to make sure that when you consume sea moss, do your best to make sure that you eat it with something. Now, you can eat it straight up like that, but eat it with the fruit. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier too like that. I don't eat it like that. It's not meant to be eaten like that. That's why it tastes weird. Now that's it. You gotta go through it. It's bitter. You have yourself a citrus fruit. The citrus fruit is most importantly gonna give you a better detox. That's because the acids in the citrus fruit help to activate the acids that help to digest the food and everything like that in your body. You're not 100% alkaline either, so don't get tricked and fooled by the alkaline cultness. Because yes, your body needs to be more geared towards alkaline, but our stomach is very acidic in order to break down the food. Right? Now, what happens when we're not eating enough fruits and vegetables? We don't have enough enzymes, so what happens is that the acid in our stomach has to overcompensate for the food that we're eating, because we're not getting those enzymes, right? Because those foods that don't have that much water in them, like the grains, even though they're healthy, like the grains, like the nuts, all those type of foods that don't have that are still plant-based, but they don't have the high concentrate of water in it, which is going to make it harder to digest, but it acts as more of a builder. There's more calories in those foods that are more dense, but you have to balance it. You understand? The balancing is key. So, and when I say plant-based foods, I have to be very specific, because just by me saying plant-based foods, you might not know what that means. Now, that means anything that grows from the ground that is not genetically modified and has seeds, right? Also, stuff that you want to keep things in its natural state. Rice doesn't come white. Sugar comes from the nectar of fruits, and is concentrated and is separated. So anytime you separate any sort of organic material, it then becomes a drug. That's how cocaine is made. That's how all the drugs are made. It derives from the plant. It's separated, and that one particular part keeps everything. It gets you high. You know what I'm saying? It's the drug part. So, so this is what you want to make sure that you're doing, right? Staying plant-based, eating a natural diet, staying away from the hype, right? Making your own foods. You want to stay away from the almond milk, the hemp milk. All those plant-based alternatives that they're saying is healthy for you, that's being sold in stores, stay away from it. If you're not making it yourself, stay away from it, because a lot of the times those juices, the plant-based, the nut milk and seed milk is some pasteurized fake shit. And a lot of times with the almond milks, they're not even using real almonds. They're just using almond flavored with some other shit, right? So they're not letting us know that because they're not telling everything on the label. But you have to be progressive and on top of things. Don't wait for anybody. Don't wait for the company to tell you. Right? Don't wait for these huge companies to tell you the truth. Cause they're not gonna tell you the truth unless they facing a lawsuit. Right? They're gonna know it's bad and still sell it to you. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up. There's probably every car company had to get recalled because they sold cars that knowingly that they weren't the best, but they were like, fuck it, it costs too much money. We'd rather pay lawsuits because it costs so much money to recall. So knowingly that it's gonna end some lives, they look at it as like, some lives was gonna get lost anyway. It's part of it. We'd rather just pay out lawsuits for when the shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing the right thing and making that preventative measure in the beginning. And this is what this is going to do for you. Because whether you're old, whether you're not worried about getting sick because you have the fortune of being healthy, it's not going to always be like that, because every day there's a battle against you to take your life and devour you. That's how life works. It's about devouring and consuming, and that's what it's about. So you have to understand that every day is a battle. Every day you gotta be on point. Every day you gotta shit. Every day you gotta piss. Every day you gotta drink water. Every day you gotta eat. Right? So if every day you're eating and you're not eliminating, you have to think about things sometimes. Take 20 minutes and just think to yourself, like, okay, if I eat all these things, I pig out, I'm not even thinking about what I'm eating. What happened to the second half of it? It's just, where's it going? Right? Where's it going? It just stays there? And some people think, oh no, I want to keep my shit on because it's leaving. Your body gets the nutrients in a few hours. It gets the nutrients in a few hours. Even with meat, it gets those nutrients in at most like 3 hours. But the time to take to fully digest it, it's another story. So, and the main thing about what ties all this together is the water. It's the water that's in the fruits and vegetables. It's this water that has been infused with herbs. The sea moss comes from water, and infused in with water and everything like that. So it's the water that we need to be consuming, right? These different mineral waters to help to do different things and functionalities within the body. These waters help to flush our body and vitalize our body. It's not just plain water. All types of water we have to drink, but we have to make sure that we are also drinking enough water too. Half a gallon to a gallon, depending on where you're at, your climate and your body size and everything like that. But if you're not drinking enough water, your body has no ability to process the food that you're eating. That's because it's like a pipe. When you flush, it's like you trying to flush shit down the toilet without any water. Or if it has a little bit of water, some of it's gonna go down, but it's still gonna leave some shit on the top. Right? And what if you got 10 people in that whole house, and it's one bathroom, and it's only a little bit of water, and every time you flush it, that's it. When you flush the toilet and it run out of water, you can't flush again. You gotta like throw water on top of it. That's only if you're from the hood, you know about shit like that. It's like that, like, you know what I'm saying? But imagine not being able to throw that water in there, and then you can't flush. There's not enough water. And then there's 10 people in the house. They all shitting in there. That shit is going to pile up. It's going to stink like shit. And the whole house is going to end up smelling like shit. Unless you put enough water in that. You know what I'm saying? And if it gets to the point where there's too much shit, you got to fucking take all that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be something like this. Right? You probably gotta clean it out and put a one of those blue things in the water where you change the water, makes it blue and all that. Put the little thing in there to make it smell good and all that. That's gonna be the vitalization, right? But you might fuck up the toilet because all that shit in there, all that shit. You might fuck some shit up. And you gotta go get a plumber in there and fix everything like that, which is gonna be this same thing is gonna be this over time. But you have to use it more consistent. You have to do fasting. Fasting is another way how to get yourself, how to quickly heal yourself. What's the quickest way to health? The answer's in the question. The quickest way to health is by doing something quick. What's another way for quick? Fast. That's why they came up with the way fast, with the word fast. You know, so when you are able to discipline what you put into your body and not be controlled by your hunger and taste and everything like that, then that's when you can mentally manifest whatever you want for yourself. Because if you can discipline what you put into your mouth, it's easier to manifest what you say, how you act, your emotions and everything like that. What you're going to bring into this world is easier to control because you're controlling what controls you physically, which is food, right? So once you have that under your reins, other things become easier. And this is just the first step, becoming healthy. Then there's levels to it, right? You always got to improve and become more healthy in different ways too. Spiritually, you got to be healthy, mentally, emotionally, financially. And finance is not money right now. In 2,000 years, then we might not use money. We probably gonna be hopefully more evolved in that and have a whole different system that maybe I can't even comprehend or bring up into my head right now. You understand? So once we start to break free and vibrate higher than these low vibrational things like parasites and wanting to become rich without providing for other people, just for yourself, we're going to become more elevated. But if we just stay stuck on that, you know, what's going to happen? We're going to be in that low vibrational state. So try not to get spun and try not to get put into a different state, out of your natural state. Because your natural state is to be healthy, to be balanced. But if I can take you out of your natural state, it's going to be easier for me to control you. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're not being controlled by anyone who doesn't care about you. Make sure they have your intention in mind. So if this helped, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, follow us on Instagram, YouTube. If you want an order, make sure you hit up drmission.org.